This episode will be completely taken out of context. Welcome to the Fact Check This podcast.
All right, Fact Check This daily, and today let's see what the crazy Democrats in the state of Florida are up to. This is from the Washington Examiner, which I love dearly. If Democrats stopped making things up, they wouldn't be so sad. Democratic parents in Florida are sad, the Washington Post reports. Governor Ron DeSantis, who has recently been compared to Adolf Hitler, Joseph Stalin, and Genghis Khan, is being mean to them. Some of these Democratic parents are so stressed out about all of the bad things DeSantis is doing to them that they're considering leaving the state entirely. Odds are that won't make them happy either, because all of the bad things they believe to be happening in Florida are figments of their imaginations. One parent complained that her son came home upset because another student told him he wasn't allowed to say his father was gay in school. This, of course, is completely false. There is no such rule. But when you have outlets such as the Washington Post falsely calling Florida's Parental Rights in Education Act the Don't Say Gay bill, then the Washington Post shouldn't be surprised when children take their disinformation at face value. Another parent complained to the Washington Post, asking, "How can we allow my kids to be proud of their family if they can't speak about who I am?" Again, there is nothing in Florida law that prevents children from talking about their gay parents in school. This is all 100% fiction by hysterical Democrats and the corporate media whose interests they represent in the political sphere. And another parent complained to the Washington Post that a lot of black moms are saying, well, we teach our kids about black history at home anyway, but what about the kids who aren't being taught black history at home? I have good news for this parent. Florida public schools are required to teach black history in school, including the history of racial discrimination and slavery. It is listed right there in the school curriculum propagated by DeSantis' Department of Education. Here it is, verbatim. The following is the required instruction statute, 1003.42.2 HFS. The history of African Americans, including the history of African peoples before the political conflicts that led to the development of slavery, the passage to America, the enslavement experience, abolition, and the history and contributions of Americans of the African diaspora to society. Florida Department of Education African American History standards go on to note, instructional personnel may facilitate discussions and use curricula to address, in an age-appropriate manner, how the freedoms of persons have been infringed by sexism, slavery, racial oppression, racial segregation, and racial discrimination, including topics related to the enactment and enforcement of laws resulting in sexism, racial oppression, racial segregation, and racial discrimination, including how recognition of these freedoms have overturned these unjust laws. There is simply no reason any of these Democratic parents need to be freaking out about students being punished for saying the word gay in school or about black history being eliminated from the curriculum. These are all figments of Democrats' imaginations. What's really going on here? The Democratic Party is freaked out about DeSantis' rising popularity. So they're willing to spread any and every ridiculous lie about him. Unfortunately, however, a lot of Democratic parents in Florida believe these lies, and it's making their lives miserable. They need to get off social media, join the rest of us in reality, and enjoy some Florida sunshine. And Democrats, please stop spreading misery. That is challenge impossible. This is actually an interesting topic because I'm going to cover it a little more in depth, and I think I've touched on it before in one of these short dailies. There's a whole bunch more stuff that's going on with what's going on in Florida. I'm trying to find the headline on it so I can just kind of give a little teaser. But anyway, the big thing is that there are a number of educational laws that have been passed and are being put into practice in Florida to prevent teaching stuff that's not historically accurate, teaching stuff that's mostly propaganda and driven by a racism or LGBTQ agenda and narrative, but that don't actually exist, that don't have any factual backing to them. instead of allowing and promoting the teaching of wild opinions, they want to limit the curriculum to just teaching the things that are actually true. How dare they? So anyway, this has caused a huge stink, and they're like destroying the educational system in Florida. And not only are they doing it, but they have the right to do it, and they should do it, because that'll prove how terrible Ron DeSantis is, and blah fucking blah blah blah. There are 2 separate articles on that, and I will be getting to those probably not next week, but the week after. But maybe next week. We'll see. We'll see what order I end up releasing the episodes as I put them together. So, teaser for possibly next week or the week after. Definitely the week after, if not next week. Yeah, the whole thing is ridiculous. And it's kind of, I mean, it kind of goes back to the thing that I talked about on one of the regular episodes back in December, when I went through Dennis Prager, like listing all of the instances of like racism and misogyny and stuff on like college campuses, and then like all of them were either false, or the person who was making the report had actually done this thing to them. Like there was a chick that her car got graffitied, but then when they rolled the cameras back, like you can literally see her doing the graffiti, and the reason that they knew it was her is because it was a Muslim chick, and she was wearing the same burqa and everything when she's out there spray painting her car that she's wearing when she goes to the police office or the police station to report the hate crime. Like, bitch, at least change clothes. What the fuck is wrong with you? So anyway, all of this stuff is just like made up nonsense, and we're gonna look more at that next week or the week after, whenever I feel like it. Thank you all for your support. Be sure to tune back in next week for the regular episodes and all the other content. I hope you're enjoying the bonus empty tomb that I've been doing with Ben. That's I really enjoy that. It's a lot of fun. I like to talk religion and stuff, and hopefully you're getting something out of it, or not. It's cool. As always, give me feedback. I love feedback. I appreciate Sean for all the feedback, even if I don't always respond to all of your comments on stuff. I do really appreciate it. Excuse me. I will be back on Monday. Y'all have a good one.